People of the universe, you're tuning into the It's Not a Podcast. It is me, Philip the Junior, and I got my boy, BT, Mr. Thomas, Bubba son of Bubba, that dude, the gun show, the one man gun show. Speak to the people.
What's going on, people? Good morning.
To you. First and foremost, like every other woke person on social media this week, RIP Nipsey. Uh, We love you. Rest in power. Shout out to Laura Lundy and and the rest of Nipsey's family. Did you hear about the Nipsey situation, and did that affect you in any kind of way? Do you have any type of knowledge of who he is and what he's about?
I think everybody and their mother heard about Nipsey Hussle this week. I myself did not know a whole lot about him because, as you know, I'm not really that much into music like that, so I never really heard of him. But clearly, he had an impact more than uh, most new rappers, or I won't call him a new rapper, but uh, he had a very profound impact. Then I started seeing about stuff that he did, and he was a legit uh, dude that cared about his people, his neighborhood. He was trying to, bring him up, and just for how he got took down was just some sad shit.
Yeah, man, it was an awkward situation because I have a Twitter account, use it for the for the podcast, just blast some shit out every now and then. But I typically go on there and use it just to follow people in sports. So like, your typical ESPN people or people on Fox Sports South, things like that. And it was Nipsey all over the place. And then when I went to the search tab, I saw where, he had been gunned down, and it was tough because I know more of him about his out of the booth stuff than him as an actual rapper. So I knew about his, I guess, is the Buy Back the Block initiative. If I'm not mistaken, the entire plaza where he was killed at is something that he owned, and he was actually about to purchase low income housing for the area as well. And he actually started a STEM program in the, I guess, the Crenshaw area for kids in school there. So I knew about some of the non-rap ventures that he had. Um, so I was a little cut up about that one. That one was a little tough, man. And I think, you never let a tragedy go to waste. I think this is the opportunity for people to look up what he was about and what he was doing, and we can show the youth that you can start from the bottom, and you can grow and become bigger and better. But at the same time, it's like a tree. You know what I'm saying? Like a tree starts off as a small seed. It starts from the bottom and it grows into something big and something ginormous. But from that same tree, you have seeds that are being sown around that seed that fall off of that tree to plant the area around it to help other trees grow up out of nothing. And I think that's what he was.
I
And
don't,
I just hope that people go ahead.
I don't want to, put too much into like the Obama effect. When Obama got in, like that ripple effect of youth that saw that this could be done is still being
Yeah.
felt now. So he could probably be like that for showing that you don't have to be like try to be the flashiest person. You don't have to be trying to get the
Yeah.
all the jewelry and
Because
all
he
that
didn't really
crap.
move like that. Just
Yeah.
the times that I saw him, he wasn't moving real flashy. Yeah, man. And I think like I said, man, I hope this is the opportunity for the young cats out there to see that you can do it a different way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's cats out here getting that money. But you can do it legally and come from an illegal background, so to speak. But let me ask you this, man. Why do you think it is that black people kill other unsuccessful black people kill successful black people from the same origins as them? Like, what do you think causes that?
Well, clearly, I think the guy who did it was like I don't want to say a part of his team, but he knew him
They knew each other.
and
They
knew
knew
each
each
other.
other.
So a lot of that is going to be with jealousy. Why do but unsuccessful black people killing people? It's just crime. That's not a special thing because unsuccessful white people kill white people. It's called poverty. It's called the come up illegally.
Yeah.
But that's black on black crime is the awfulest thing ever created, and it's just crime. That's all it is. But yeah, I don't know. That's what you were trying to talk about.
It is. But I think for me, it hurts a little bit more when you see a black man kill another black man that was doing right. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
yeah,
you know where the area is like. So why wouldn't you do better to take care of that man? You know,
yeah.
And for whatever reason, they had some issues.
But yeah, that's the mind of a stupid individual. Even by him killing them, I don't even think he killed them to rob them. I don't really know if they said anything about the reason.
Well, okay, so from the information I'm getting from secondhand knowledge is that he was around Nipsey, and Nipsey was like, "Whoa, you an informant? You got them papers? Hold on, you don't need to be moving around here like that." And I guess he took offense to it, went back, got his piece, came back, shot him 5 times, kicked him in the head, shot him in the head, and dipped off.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's yeah, man. It's some shit behind it. But now the sad part about it is like either 2 or 3 people in his family, like grandmothers, nieces, something like that, have already got touched. So not only did Nipsey lose his life over stupidity, people took justice and vengeance in their own hand and
against the wrong
took the life of. Yeah, exactly. Like,
once again, stupid people. Like, what do they have to do?
Yeah.
You hurting that bad? Like, you gonna hurt his because you can't get to him, or his family gonna feel it another way. No,
right.
That's no different.
And see, the thing about it is, you go ahead.
That's no different than the Liam Neeson issue when his what was it? His friend got raped by a black person. He said he's gonna walk the streets. He was just looking for a black person to attack because that's gonna fix it.
Right, exactly. So you're not hurting Eric Holder, who killed Nipsey. You're also hurting the people that are associated with the people that you ended up killing that are associated with Nipsey, that are associated with Eric. But to your point, like I do understand where you're coming from about the whole it ain't just black on black crime. It's just dumb people doing dumb shit. It's evil people doing evil shit. And I do want us to get away from putting labels on everything. Whether it be I want to see a black person in this role. I want to see a gay person in this role. I want to see a Muslim person in this role. I just want good people who care about whatever it is they're caring about and doing stuff for the right reasons in whatever field doing it. And I want to see when bad people are doing bad things in whatever field, we just call that a bad person, not a bad person of a specific group.
Yeah, it would be awesome.
So I definitely get where you're coming from.
It'd be awesome when we get to the point where the news can stop literally pointing to a word to trigger a certain reaction. White cop does this. White teacher does this to black student. Black student does, like, why you gotta keep using that pronoun, man? Like, can we just say
it automatically causes a divide?
You know what I'm saying? It's like you're keeping that same narrative going because it feeds into ratings because you can sensationalize the story with the skin tone, and so that's why I kind of hate the news as well. Like, you guys are just. You're not trying to fix anything. But also, that still was a funny video that Jamal sent with the white guy dancing on the news. But I'm like, see, that's what you guys are. You're entertainers. You're not reporters anymore.
Right. And to your point about the news, like, as I've started paying more attention to the news, and I found different sources of my news that are not the mainstream. Now, the majority of these people are your more progressive leaning commentators or journalists. So they're willing to call out any and everybody on their shit. like I follow this guy named Jimmy Dore, who is funny because he actually started off as a comedian, but now he's gotten into politics and journalism, and he calls out like Rachel Maddow on her bullshit and how she lies and how she. So it's crazy to see how, you know, if you're someone who leans more Democrat like myself, you may see like CNN would be your go-to news station, but when you realize and see like all the BS that they're spitting to you, it's like y'all supposed to be the ones that are trusted, and y'all are still feeding into the propaganda that's putting out there.
Because they getting their ass kicked by Fox News, so they're trying to do whatever it takes to just stay in the game. Because Fox News got their base, crazy as they are, it's their base, and they all support and supposed like liberals. And we got with MSN, CNN, and so they all getting sliced up by the advertisement dollar. So everybody trying to find their way to try to catch up to Fox. And I still know how Fox is going to be after the Disney purchase, because that's going to be a lot of lost revenue, even though it's a separate thing, and they won't be purchased by Disney. But supposedly they're going to be making some changes with their company style now. But it's like you try to find, if you see a news article and you see it's crazy, the first thing I look at is, all right, where'd it come from? Because somebody posted something yesterday and said Disney to pay reparations to fans over Star Wars. I'm like, what? Who sent this? Babylon.com. I'm like, all right, I ain't. But then I don't want to just put all that weight into, like, if I see Fox or CNN report it, it's got to be true then. And so we're trapped in a situation of like, who gives out the most consistent, accurate data. And I'm not a reporter, so I can't go out there and find it myself. So I can only trust news things. Maybe Babylon.com is true. I doubt it. But Fox.
Yeah, we're in a situation where the more information we have, the more we're realizing that we're misinformed. And now we can't put the trust in our news outlets that we should be able to put. You know, like the more information you have, the more you realize you've been lied to or you've been manipulated. So it's like, who do we trust? Who do we go to for our news? And I think honestly now it's to the point where if you really want to learn something, if you want to be educated on something, like if it's something that you really care about, you're gonna have to go to 3 or 4 different sources,
right?
And you're gonna have to do a damn research paper, like in high school. Go to the library, get your encyclopedia, and make sure you got your sources referenced. You know, that's what you're gonna have to do.
The ones up high know this now. They know Johnny Appleseed ain't finna do all that work to really find the answers. And then even if he does, how many people will really do that? Not many. So the mass public, you can just put shit over their eyes and just feed out a narrative, and then true or not, it's gonna stick. Just like your boy who lied about Trump getting them, like Fox News not once mentioned that situation, not once talked about it was Jesse. And then CNN was like going hard on it for the longest time, and then once it came out that it was allegedly a setup, then CNN quieted down, and then Fox News turned up. So I'm like, can somebody square up?
Yeah, it's like once the conversation starts to fit your narrative, that's when you want to jump on it.
Right.
And now that it's come out that it seems to be more of a lie than the truth, you see Fox News coming out and kind of celebrating because based on his allegations, he was attacked by people who were Trump supporters who would in turn be more than likely be Fox News viewers.
Correct.
And subscribers. So now it's like, oh, you went after one of ours, and so you lied. So now we gotta do you wrong. But now CNN is at the point where they have to just report on it. They made such a big deal about it, they can't just let it go away. They have to report on it. So now, instead of them starting to talk about it from the standpoint of their opinions, they're trying to talk about the facts. and talk about the fact that, okay, well, now the police office is trying to sue him for this, that, and the third, and like, you know, how he got off and all that kind of stuff, instead of talking about, oh, well, it was a Trump supporter, yada, yada, yada. So again, you got to be careful with where you get your news from, and what's the point behind the message.
It's like, I didn't know. I think I was at work yesterday, and I saw that Joe Biden allegedly has people coming out about him now, about him being
that's something I want. It's something I want to touch on, no pun intended. But Joe Biden has a young lady who came out and said that she felt uncomfortable. Apparently he was at a rally or something like that for her, and he put his hands behind. He was behind her, put his hand on her shoulder, and leaned forward. And I think she said he smelled her hair and gave her a kiss on the back of her head. Now, none of these people are saying that it's like a Me Too situation, a Cosby, Weinstein, or even a Louis C.K. type situation. They're just saying that they weren't comfortable.
Fox News is.
But that's the point, though. Yeah. The people, like, when you actually listen to the people themselves, they're just saying that behavior is inappropriate, and I felt uncomfortable. So for me, it's like, it's two things. One, why come out and even say anything? And then two, why is it that as a society, we aren't or haven't empowered people enough to speak up right then and there when something happens? Because you should have the power and the confidence to say in that moment, hey, Joe, that felt uncomfortable. Don't do it again. Or after it happened, like, because you're at an event, hit him up like, yo, Joe, can you please not do that? And leave it at that. Why wait until now to talk about it when he's thinking about running for president? It just seems like your motives are out of whack. Correct. And I'm not victim shaming or anything like that, but I'm just wondering what your motives are.
You are victim shaming, number one. No, it's, I've known people to have things happen and they didn't say anything, and you would hope as a society we can get to the place of as soon as one thing happens going forward now that, they can at least, if a dude puts their hand like on their lower back and they felt some type of way, that they would, instead of just feeling bad, would actually say it, because you can't change the behavior. Well, it'd be better to try to change the behavior at that point in time than later on saying something. It's like with kids, like when they do something in that moment, it's a teachable moment at that time. So you can't go to Kingston and
right.
be like, I'm gonna try to teach him on clean up his room when he's outside away from it. So you need to try to do stuff in that moment to actually have more of an effect. Why is she waiting? She probably, just my opinion, didn't feel any type of way, but somebody probably greased her up to say something. I hate to say it that way, but why else would you wait for him when he's running for president to try to throw a kink in it? Because I doubt she tried to probably say anything. If she did try to say something and he kind of blew off, then this is probably like another moment maybe to try to steal some of his thunder. I would still rather, if in that moment when he did it, she should have turned around and been like, "No, that's not the move." But right. She didn't. So yeah.
But there are people that have come out in support of Joe. Like, I don't know if you know, or I don't know if you've seen the picture, but there's like always that meme of him where he's behind the lady and the guy's talking at the podium, and he's like if the mic stands her head, he's like behind her like this. And the picture itself just looks
bad.
What the fuck is going on? But she was like, he was comforting me in that moment. He was clearly whispering something in my ear, but he was helping me feel better. I was consoled by it. And even like for the people that like keep up with news and stuff like that, like Meghan McCain, John McCain's daughter, she's on The View. I don't necessarily care too much for some of her antics on there, but it is what it is. But she's a staunch conservative Republican woman, but her and Joe Biden have a relationship because her father and Joe Biden had a relationship. And she was like, there have been many times where I've cried on his shoulder. Hell, he was on the show one time after her dad died, and she was getting emotional talking to him about some stuff. He got up out of his chair and went behind her and consoled her. And she was like, it was comforting to me. And it is sad that we're getting to a place that actions like this are being demonized. But and if a conservative can say something like that, then that lets you know that maybe some of what's going on with Joe Biden is a bunch of BS.
It's just I was watching Hot Ones, I think it was yesterday, and Chelsea Handler was on there, and just one of the questions they asked her about was,
is she even relevant anymore?
No, but I mean, from how she was talking, she's doing fine. She's not really care about hosting anything anymore. She's got documentary and stuff coming out, but one of the questions was that asked her about was like, the Me Too movement and stuff. Like, how was that? How did she think that was adjusting to the world now? She said she felt like it is a little bit too much, way heavily on the reactionary side now. And she said she thinks that that's just a product of the teachable time. Like, it's going to be like with the NBA or the NFL and flags. Like, we're gonna overdo it for a certain amount of time, but then it's going to balance itself out to correct itself. This is just the teaching time. She said she wasn't too much of a fan of how the climate is now. She said she's glad she doesn't have a show because she would be in trouble. That she said she was very inappropriate with her show. But I'm like, so is this going to become a thing? You just outed yourself. But of course, nobody's going to say anything because you're a woman, and women can't be inappropriate. It's only men that are the devils in every situation. But I think that's all it is, really. It's the overreaction period on everything, and then it's going to balance itself out. It's just when it's going to balance itself out, I don't know. I hope it's soon because I'm quite tired of, even what you just said now, of Joe Biden being in trouble because, I mean, yes, I'm sure the picture looked bad, but I hope there was no bad things behind it, and he was just behind her trying to comfort her. If she felt a certain way, I would hope she had said something soon, but clearly she did not. So we're just in this era of, even at work, man, in my last job, I had female coworkers, and I did my damnedest to not put myself in any kind of situation where it looked bad.
Right. Yeah, you got to protect yourself, man. And what's so funny is the right-wing media is using this to try to jump on Joe, but it's like you're supporting somebody who has multiple women who have come out and alleged that he's harassed them, or even there's one person that alleges that Trump raped her. He's paid off porn actresses and Playboy models while his wife was pregnant. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you can't sit here and try to take the moral high ground and try to talk bad about Joe when the person that you're supporting has this laundry list of things going against him.
But like we said,
you know what I'm saying? It's like
not the narrative.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. It's like you don't even care to point out the fact that you're being completely biased. It's like it makes absolutely no sense. And to your point about the overreaction and like the trained behavior, and hopefully it comes back. Like, I'm the type of person, I like dirty humor. I like dark humor. I like inappropriate jokes. I like the fact that when I watch South Park or when I watch Family Guy, they make black jokes that make me feel uncomfortable. But I also like the fact that they make Jewish jokes, or they make Muslim jokes, or they make gay jokes, or they make poor white people jokes, or rich white people jokes. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you get to an era when, especially when it comes to humor, people can be inappropriate. I think it gets back to reality, because I think most dirty humor represents who people really are, because there's a reason why people laugh at those jokes.
Right.
And like you said with Chelsea, she was like, well, I was very inappropriate at work, so maybe I wouldn't be able to make it right now. I don't even know what that means though, because it's like, are you saying that you were cup checking male coworkers? Like, what do you mean by inappropriate? Because if it's just as far as jokes are concerned, once you cultivate a following, people gonna rock with you. You know what I'm saying? Like you can get away with stuff. Like, for example, the Raw and the Delirious Eddie Murphy stand-ups. There were a lot of gay jokes in there, if I'm not mistaken. Am I correct?
Yeah. I'm gonna bend
and
over.
If I'm not mistaken,
you start fucking.
No. But he let the UK cigarette fly a couple of times.
Right.
And that's not come back to hunt him, because he's cultivated a group of people that rock with him. And like, even now, like Andrew Schultz, like, you know, he does stand-up comedy. He's on Brilliant Idiots. Like, he had this bit about the word tranny and how it's like tranny is not a bad word. It is just simply a shortening. He was like grandmother, granny, grandfather, grandpa, transgender, transsexual, tranny. It was like, it is just a shortening of the word. It is not trying to not trying to be used as a way to be derogatory or whatever. And obviously he was making light of it. And he said that, you know, since that joke has kind of made the rounds, he's had an opportunity to kind of talk to some people. Some people have come out to him and, you know, talk to him about it. So he gets where they're coming from. But the point is, you still have to be able to find the humor in dark stuff.
But you can't.
You know what I'm saying? And
I know it's kind of side, but they created a environment of like, do you want to be equal or what? Because like, nobody can say nothing. Like, even the top comedians, like nobody wants to try to even touch it. Like Chappelle, he knew that joke he did was gonna give him some hot water. I mean, he still did it because that's why he's Chappelle. But you can see most of the climate for like a lot of top comedians, they don't want to touch anything with gay people or transgender, because that is damn near nuclear territory. And you got to be some of the best of the best or not giving a fuck to even go into that. And that's sad, man, because we should all be able to crack jokes. Do I feel the greatest when Family Guy does a black joke? No. But I also know, just like you with South Park and Family Guy, they're going to hit the whole spectrum of everybody. It's not going to be just a black episode they're going to shit on black people, basically.
And like you said with Chappelle, he knew that joke would maybe have some issues, and he went with it. And I think when you say it and you put your whole ass behind it and you mean it and you just leave it at that, cool. Guess what? If he offends 10% of the people that are viewing him, he's still gonna be all right. And like you said, to the point about equality means equality to get these jokes off on you. Right. So if women want to be equal, we can talk about y'all. If black people want to be equal, we can talk about y'all. So you can't sit here and decide you can't say you want to be treated like everybody else from the positive standpoint and then not be treated like everybody else from the negative standpoint. Correct. It's like if you're a female and you decide you want to play football and you get hit.
Oh my God.
I'm smaller than you, blah, blah, blah. But you knew what you signed up for. Now I get it. I understand why certain, we'll just say minority groups, you know what I'm saying, like feel like they've always been picked on and there's always been something negative brought up against them. Like, I get it. Like, I understand it. There's a difference between discrimination and somebody joking about something. Right. Like, when I write laws and bills and pass things to where you can't go to the bathroom that you feel like you should go to, or you can't marry the person that you love, or because you live in certain areas, it's going to be hard for you to vote. That's one thing.
Right.
But for me to be like, yes, bitch, like, come on, man. Like, is it really that serious? And I think maybe it is time for us to have more inclusion. Maybe we need more gay people doing stuff. We need more Indian people doing stuff, so we can allow them the opportunity to make light of themselves, and then we can have a broader conversation. Because I think the issue is when somebody from a different circle tries to make light of it, it comes off as derogatory or offensive. That's why when you see like Fresh Off the Boat, Eddie Wong, okay, they're gonna make certain Asian jokes that aren't gonna be offensive to them because they're making the joke. Or there's a show with an Indian chick, I think it's called I Feel Bad. So she's an Indian chick, but she's married to a white dude who's Jewish. So you get some Jewish jokes in there, you get some Indian jokes in there, but it's said from people within that circle. So I think it's more fair. So I don't necessarily want to buy into the whole over inclusion thing, but I guess that's the only option we have when it comes to humor and trying to make light of certain things.
Well, I mean, society is trying to get to the point of putting different things out there in the medium of TV and film. Marvel built their demo, so now Black Panther was the first one to expand it to where, okay, now they know there's a lot of money in black dollars, so of course they're going to do what they can to bring that back. And then they announced they cast this Asian guy to get ready for their first Asian character they're going to be doing, I want to say in 2021. So, you hope that hits, because you need enough of them to hit to just start to get past this, that minorities can't move the dollar, and so we can start seeing it and it gets normalized.
What is the character that he's playing?
See, I can't remember his name. I'm not that much on him, and I know some people, but see, you know about Black Panther, but you don't know about this guy. Number one, I knew of the character of Black Panther. I did not know villains. I did not know
story.
I did not know a lot about him. So,
and how he had multiple wives and he was married to a 16-year-old in the comic book.
Right.
Don't say nothing about R. Kelly. If T'Challa can get this teenager vag, then don't say nothing about R. Kelly. But I'm sorry, go ahead.
He had a child with Storm, and that child's name was Thundercat. But it's
I like that.
So yeah, that's gonna be coming, and they got the Black Widow movie coming. You got the doors opening, and what I just needed, good press going forward, and that goes into Jordan Peele and his comment, which I get what he's trying to say. I just need him to say that.
Okay, but before we get on that, I just want to address your Black Dollar comment, because it amazes me that movie theaters are saying, "Oh man, the Black Dollar is so powerful." Motherfucker, black people, to our detriment as a whole,
give all our money away.
Right, we just give it away. We spend a higher percentage of our money in circles outside of ourselves. Right. So the Black Dollar has always been a building block to the economy. Right. We always gonna spend shit, even when we ain't got it. And I say we as a whole, just statistically, whether it's rich, poor, whatever the case is. So for them to be surprised about it, right? For them to be surprised about it makes no sense. The issue is that, oh my God, I can have a black lead, I can have an all black movie and be successful. That's the thing that they were so confused about, and that ties into your point about Jordan Peele, when he said he doesn't see himself casting a white lead for a movie. He's already seen that movie before, and you know what? I'm glad he said it, because now it shows the dialogue that we need to have, and how a person who traditionally doesn't come from power now has power and can say out loud how he feels about things. People are snatching their pearls about it when he's telling you up front, but the other groups are saying,
won't say it up front,
behind closed doors, you showing me by your actions. there's like, think about it like this: the movie Equalizer with Denzel Washington. Anybody could have played that movie, right?
Yeah.
Look at like The Matrix. You know what I'm saying? They were trying to get Will Smith to play Neo, but he was like,
I didn't
had I
understand.
played Neo, then Lawrence Fishburne would have been old boy. Morpheus.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because then it would have been a black movie. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I was watching the Young Turks and they brought up a good point. They're like, Hollywood is supposed to be so liberal and so progressive and so forward thinking.
Conservative as hell, boy.
Oh, bullshit. Exactly. It was like bullshit. Bullshit. And I like what Jordan said, because it's like, you know what? Why can't we have a movie with an all black cast just be about the movie and not them being black? Whereas Get Out, it needed to be black people in it because it was supposed to show, you know, difference between white and black and kind of how they were leeching off us and sucking our soul force out of us. But with us, it's just a scary movie that just so happens to be based on black people.
Not scary movie, but it's
okay. Well, it will be considered a thriller.
Yeah, I need
that happens to be about black people.
2 more like moves out of him to like. To me, he is already established because he had 2 movies, low budget, come out that smashed the box office, and he's proven he's a great storyteller and he can make the money in Hollywood. They don't care if you can tell stories in Hollywood. They want you can tell stories and make money. So he's proven. The only reason I didn't have an issue with what he said. It was I didn't need him saying that too early in his movie career to where, you know, some studios could be like, oh, that's how you want to do it, and try to like blackball him a little bit, you know, because of the statement. I mean, clearly, I think he can get financial backing because hell, Get Out only cost $5 million total to make. He made like $500 million. So he can get. He's not trying to tell like a Marvel $200 million budget studio movie to where he gets owned. So I think he can always be okay. But I'd rather him get a couple more movies in to where, you know, it's no doubt. Because right now they're saying, you know, he has 2 hits, but it still could be a flop going forward.
But you know what though? If studios don't want to rock with him, Tyler Perry got his own studio.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so to say like a black lead or a black movie can't be successful. How long was Tyler Perry doing Madea plays and Madea movies and being successful in the movie theaters? And clearly he's had some type of success to buy his own movie studio. Right. So I ain't saying that they should team up, but I'm saying like, if it gets to the point where people ain't rocking with you, well, then we'll find somebody who will support us. And we have to do more of that in Hollywood. And I'm not saying that to be like, we need to cut ourselves off from people, but if the people that you're trying to show your vision to can't see it, then go to somebody who will. But I definitely want to see him be more successful. I definitely want to see him be, like, I'm tired of thinking about like Spike Lee.
But I was just about
the black director in Hollywood.
Spike is what happens when you don't really make the financial part of what you're doing. Spike had a vision for most of his stuff. His stuff still last, but
quality movies, just not the dollar to back it.
Yeah, I remember I read or saw something about when he was trying to get Malcolm X made, and like he was going to bill a lot to make it, but he wasn't really getting a whole lot of financial backing. And even so, Spike Lee, I think Malcolm X only made like, I think it cost like 25, 30 million to make, and made like 50 total. Because I mean, and historically, it's going to be shown through the end of time. But financially, it didn't let him have it on his resume. I made this and made a crap ton of money. So even though I'm this outspoken person, you can't deny me in the money, because that's what it comes down to in Hollywood. And he was never really, I think the most money he ever made was either Inside Man or I haven't looked up Black Klansman to see what it's done for his total run, but I'm sure it wasn't that hardcore. But even Inside Man, that's the least Spike Lee movie
real quick. The budget for Malcolm X was an estimated $33 million.
Yeah,
and it grossed $48 million in the U.S. and $1 million in Germany. I'm not Germany, but Great Britain. So we'll just say 50 million. It brought in 50 million, but it actually cost a little bit more than what you initially thought. But I think with Spike, he has the cult following. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like his movies are cult classics within the culture, but they didn't necessarily slap as far as the movie theaters are concerned. So now with Jordan Peele, he's able to make cult classics, but make it slap in the movie theater and get that money in the movie theater as well. So he has both sides of it.
You remember, and the one last thing about Spike, you know, I love Spike to death. I've seen most of his movies. Spike talked all that shit for all them years. But then they gave him that Oscar, and he showed what he really felt. He wanted that damn Oscar because he needed them for validation, which is what a lot of cats now don't have their mindset of needing the Oscars because Oscars don't mean anything. But Spike, it meant something to him because he felt validated to have it, and that's, I don't want to say that took a notch down out of me for what I feel for his craft, but I'm like, Spike, you've been out here hardcore for the longest time. Why does that Oscar mean something to you when it don't mean shit?
Oh, I guarantee you add an extra couple of dollars on that check though. You know what I'm saying? Just from like an actor, just like being an actor, Oscar award winning.
Yeah, Oscars now Tony Award detrimental to your career because you see, like you can have an Oscar like Cuba is an Oscar nominated actor. What Cuba Gooding Jr. doing?
Cuba Gooding Jr.
You know what I'm saying? It's like a whole bunch of cats can win an Oscar, but that doesn't mean anything. Like Will Smith can win one. I'm not trying to shit on Will Smith. I'm just saying he can win one, I got but you. It means nothing for him. What would it change for Will Smith? Nothing.
Right. Had he maybe won it for like what 6 Degrees of Separation?
Yeah.
Or maybe Pursuit of Happiness. But at this point, this would just be like this is like if Tom Brady were to win another MVP. Or if Tom Brady were to break some kind of record. It's like, motherfucker, you already got 6 rings.
Sure.
Like, you've been to the Super Bowl, we'll just say every other year in your career, because he's been to 9 Super Bowls and this is his 20th season.
Jennifer Lawrence won, so, I want to say 2 Oscars. And is anybody checking for the next Jennifer Lawrence movie? No.
But they checking for that fappening.
And then supposedly she finally did her last X-Men movie that she's so happy to be done with.
What is
Phoenix,
it?
Dark Phoenix.
Dark Phoenix, Black Phoenix, whatever.
Yes, no spoiler alert, okay. Even though it's in the trailer, she dies. But yeah.
Talking about Mystique.
Yeah. But she hated
it. I mean, but here's the thing though. That's gonna happen in that universe. But they gonna still find a way if they want to do another X-Men movie to have another Mystique in there.
Yeah, another Mystique. Yeah, she don't want to do it no more.
Yeah.
And I mean, technically that is the last one because I mean Disney owns it now, and they ain't finna use none of them going forward when they start to integrate them into the MCU.
Really now?
Oh yeah, like since Disney now owns Fox.
So okay. So that means
and Fantastic Four and Deadpool now.
So that means in theory we could see Wolverine and Black Panther beside each other on the TV screen, on the big screen. Correct. In theory.
Okay. I mean, not in theory, like they own them. If they wanted to, like it's going to take a couple years for them to start trying to. That's why everybody still wants to see Endgame, because everybody believes Kevin Feige, the dude who's been producing these movies, like he's known. So everybody's like waiting to see the end of Endgame. Will you see any reference to the Fantastic Four? Will you see any reference to the X-Men? Because now that because I think that deal went through, if it wasn't this past Tuesday, it was last Tuesday where it's official. Disney now officially owns all of that. So it's going to come a time where X-Men will be referenced in this world. It's going to become a time. They're still trying to figure out what to do with Deadpool, of course, because he's rated R, and Disney does not do rated R movies, but they're going to have to figure out something to do with him but it's coming.
That'll be dope. That'll be dope. So since we're talking about movies and stuff, you see the Joker trailer?
I've seen it 40 times now.
Okay. So I don't feel bad for watching the Game of Thrones trailer like 10 times. I don't even necessarily want to talk about what you think the movie is going to be like and about the trailer specifically, but how did it feel for you to see two actors from ATL be in the movie?
Two actors. Oh yeah,
the female.
Girl, yeah. I thought it was pretty awesome. Well, one, she's getting a lot of work because she's in the Deadpool franchise, so I would hope they will keep her going when they get pulled up to Disney. And then when they showed Paperboy, I died only because I think that's
he went to Juilliard.
Scene. I think that's going to be a pivotal ass scene.
Okay. I hope so too. I hope he has a meaningful scene or two in the movie.
He's looking at him with that good old Paperboy face, but then he's want to tell him something bad, and then because Joker, well, he's not Joker yet. He says like what, and his voice is kind of breaking when he says what. So I'm thinking like they're probably at a hospital or something, and they're about to tell him like his wife died, and that's like the beginning descent of his character into madness.
Yeah. So the woman that he was giving the bath to was his wife.
Yeah. I don't think that's his mom.
Why did I think that was his mom?
She looked way too. She looked that old. She looked old, but so did he.
Yeah, I mean, can I just say that I commend these actors that allow their bodies to go through these transformations for these movies.
Right. Well, he's very method actor. So
Christian Bale, when he did that movie where he all he did was eat an apple and smoke cigarettes.
The Machinist, and then he turned around and did Batman Begins right after that. So he went from like I think they said 120 pounds to like 200 pounds. Oh God! So if you look up the transformation, look up that to what he got for Batman Begins. That's he's a very method actor, and those cats who do that, I commend them.
And then he played Cheney in Vice, so he had to get a little pudge around him.
I need to see it,
bro. I started watching it the other day and then I fell asleep because I was off. So yeah, but I definitely want to see that myself.
How was the aquarium, man? How was the aquarium? Was it fun?
It was fucking dope. I don't like crowds. I'm starting to realize I don't like crowds when I have
a child,
other bodies that I'm responsible for. Like if I'm with my boys, or by myself is different, but having to keep a lookout for a small child, and two adults who at times act like they don't know how to just read a sign and say, I need to go left to do something, or I need to go right to do something. Yeah. But no, it was cool though.
Did he like it?
It was cool. Yeah, he enjoyed it. He didn't necessarily care too much to put his hand in the water, the touch stuff.
Yeah.
By the way, I took my family to the aquarium yesterday, and my son enjoyed it. Everywhere we went, yuck. And I was surprised at how much he knew. Like he knew which one was a whale, which one was a penguin, which one was a beluga whale, starfish, stingrays, all that kind of stuff. But he watches a show called Octonauts where they're, I guess, astronauts underwater, and they help animals and all that good stuff. So, so that was pretty cool. One thing, before we close out, Game of Thrones opens up next Sunday, and I'm elated for it. I told Jamal, or as we know, the one and only Black Seas. I told him at this point, I don't know if they're gonna do anything that really surprises me this season. Not because I've really kept up with any spoilers. Like I've heard a few, like in passing. But I've heard like 3 or 4 spoilers that like contradict each other. So could one be right? Could the other be right? Or could they both be bullshit? But I feel like at a certain point, we know first episode, they're all going to be in Winterfell. They're going to have to say, hey, me and Danny, we fucking, And then Bran's gonna have to be like, well, guess what? That's your aunt. And then we already know Cersei's not gonna help Jon and them. We already know that Jon and them gonna have to fight the White Walkers. And we already know that either they're going to win or they're going to lose. And then we know they're probably gonna win because they're gonna try to go fight Cersei. And then Cersei's probably gonna die because she's the big bad of the show. Even though the Night King is supposed to be the big bad of the show, Cersei's the big bad of the show. She's gonna have to get off.
You say that, but you never know, bro. Like knowing something and watching it unfold on film because they're going to film it a certain way to get you to act a certain way. Like I knew Thanos was going to do this. I knew it going into that movie, but because how they did it, still had me like, fuck.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm excited, but I just hope that they don't pull a Walking Dead on us and just give us filler. You can't give us filler when you're gonna give us. I think every episode is supposed to be 60 minutes or more.
I don't think it's gonna be that filler, man. Like especially when they know this is it. Like Walking Dead gives you filler because they gonna be trying to go for another 5 years. Like this is it. I don't see them doing that much filler, if any.
They got to go balls to the wall, man. I think I'm not when they do the previously on Game of Thrones section before they start the episode. I'm not watching that because I don't want to. Because as soon as they show a character from 5 seasons ago, it's like. Matter. And the good thing about it, because I use HBO now, you can fast forward it because it's not actually like thank you. It's not actually being live streamed. It's like them uploading the entire episode, so you can fast forward through the credits.
Yeah.
But I told myself I'm going to listen to the theme song every time, but I'm going to do my best not to listen to or watch the previously on portion.
Just as soon as it comes on, just look away and close your ears like I do with trailers.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. But guys, we will have the second ever live stream with all members of the Four Horsemen coming up later in June. We all kicking it together at an undisclosed location in East Atlanta, and we'll be live streaming together in the same room, drinking the same alcohol or maybe different alcohols. And this is gonna be interesting, man. I would like to say fuck it and live stream every night. Just to because this don't happen very often.
Shit, the last time we were all together was it 2000.
It was 3 years ago because Kingston was pregnant. Kim was pregnant with Kingston. He was being incubated. It was Christmas of 2005. No, sorry, Christmas of 15. Kingston was born in 16, so it was Christmas of 15.
Been a long time.
So yeah. So needless to say, we will probably be drunk while we do this live stream, but as usual, we're gonna have a lot of laughs. We're gonna have a lot of good insight, but you're gonna get to see us in our element. So I think it's gonna be fun. And as usual, tell 5 friends to tell 5 more friends, and then tell those 5 friends to tell 5 friends. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you'll see when we post videos. We won't always be doing live streams. Some videos will just be posted at a later date. But I always want to make sure you keep up with the content that we have. If you're on SoundCloud, like, share, repost. If you're on iTunes, please leave a review because you kind of need that stuff for the algorithm to kick in and boost us up a little bit. Brandon, you got anything you want to say to the people before we close it out?
I will be in Seattle next week, and then we got the Mimosa Festival coming up when I come back from Seattle, so we got a lot of things popping. And then I will be getting ready for Avengers Endgame, which is going to be fucking epic.
Yeah, I'm getting off early that day so I can go change it to my Black Panther onesie. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm going to try not to fall asleep in the movie because it's going to be 3 hours.
Well, if it starts at 6, you should be all right.
I'm still going to take a 5-hour energy at like 4 just to be on the safe side.
I'm gonna be all in. Sleep. I don't care if I hadn't slept in 2 days. I ain't missing a piece of that movie. A piece.
Red T. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. I love you all, as I always say. And to close it out, BT, can you hit me with a cheer one time?
Cheer.